Welcome to the Teacher's Guide to Best Tiered Instruction. Today we'll be looking at Second Grade Standard NSO 1.4, which deals with rounding numbers from 0 to 100 to the nearest 10. Rounding numbers is new for students in this benchmark, so starting with a hundreds chart allows students to go over what endpoints are as well as a midpoint number. I've added sentence stems to also help with the language when rounding numbers. First, students locate the number on the hundreds chart. Then they cover the two endpoints that the number would be between. Then students have to think about, is that number closer to the left end mark or the right side end mark? This visual is great for students to understand that a number to the right of the midpoint number is going to round up to the next 10, but a number to the left of the midpoint is going to round down to the nearest 10. If a number already ends in 0, by not being able to cover up the number, students are then able to understand that it is already rounded. Introducing a small number line allows students to start labeling their own number line. We use the stem cards of greater than and less than when we're talking about what numbers to use as the endpoints. So again, students find the number on their chart, discuss what the two endpoints are. 43 would be greater than 40, but less than 50, and finish labeling their number line. Now students can still visually see that 43 would go to 40. Using that same concept, now taking away the hundreds chart, students have to think about what number would be greater than the given number and what would be less than the given number when we're talking about tens. Using the ones place helps students determine which way to round the number. Students can see that 23 is 3 units away from 20 and 7 units away from 30. So then they can see that 23 is closer to, or about, 20. Students can also use the base 10 blocks to find the length of given numbers, as well as practicing labeling and spacing out a number line. We can see that 27 goes past 20, but doesn't yet reach 30. "27 is past the midpoint, so it's going to be closer to 30. In this one, we've added shaded sections to tie into the hundreds chart when we worked with numbers that landed to the right of the midpoint versus the left of the midpoint. This coloring or highlighting on the number line helps students to still reinforce that concept of, if a student lands in this section of the number line, then they're going to round their number up. When given a rounded number, students also need to be able to think about what numbers would be in those sections. Remember to also use a vertical number line, especially when using language such as round up or round down. Since students are physically moving up a number line or down the number line, they start to make sense of this language when we talk about rounding. These are a few other manipulatives that you could utilize. Place value discs and money. Money is a great tool to tie in financial literacy and talking about if they have the ability to make another 10 when regrouping their ones. Hopefully you took away a few different methods that you could use to help your students when rounding numbers to the nearest tens place. Really building that conceptual understanding of locating a number and being able to determine reasonableness is a key fact in their math learning.